just shooting a quick video on my Pagan Peoples warlord. As you know, there's two options for the warlord. One is with just no equipment on foot, and the other one is with javelins and mounted. The only downside is the mounted warlord only has a 4/4 armor, so they're quite light compared to other warlords you have options for. I wanted my particular warlord to stand out. I didn't really see any models from existing lines that gave me the look I wanted for my Pagan Peoples. So I did a little bit of searching online, and one of the models and styles of armor that came up was this particular armor that I've sculpted on this Conquest, I think they're just called Conquest miniatures, Norman Knight figure. You can see it's just a standard plastic with some modifications. So the first modification you see is this particular breastplate. I press molded it using one of the Gripping Beast Jomsviking models, just from the breastplate there. I added some straps on the back. This should be blended in a little bit better once we've painted it. Another thing that kept coming up was this particular helmet style. There's not a lot of documentation on what the Wends and what the Baltic peoples looked like. As far as I could tell, just online, there's a few stylistic and sculptures, but those are quite unreliable. Some of the pictures from Osprey books kind of gave this peculiar looking helmet style, so quite pointy at the top, and then with this distinctive brim, quite Eastern looking, a lot like maybe what you'd see on the Mongolian style models. So this was actually quite easy to sculpt on. It's just a little cylinder of green stuff and then pressed against the helmet. Same thing with this little top part of the helmet. That's quite easy to sculpt as well. Another thing that came up quite frequently was this particular shield style. I don't think it's very clear right now, but it'll be clearer once I've painted it up. It's more of a teardrop shape rather than the kite shield style of the Normans. So what I did here was just shave it down to slightly pointier. Added a metal rod here. I guess you can just use a plastic rod. I had this lying around, and then I just filled the gaps in with some green stuff and some plastic putty. So that's really all I've done for this particular warlord. And then just to, you know, signify that he does actually have a javelin, I've added one of the small 50mm javelins, metal wire javelins here in his shield hand, just to give him you know, so that it's not surprising to people that he does actually have a javelin. And obviously he's also going to be in combat quite a bit, so I gave him just the heroic looking sword. So pretty happy how this turned out. It's quite an easy little conversion. It didn't take that long. Probably not particularly happy with the breastplate. I'm going to see how it paints up. If I can get some detail on there, I'll be happy. But overall, pretty happy with the helmet. Given that this was actually very easy, I continued it on all of my hearth guards. So I'll just show you one of these models. Here you can see another example. I think I did 8 hearth guard in about an hour, so that's pretty reasonable. You can see I already used the press molding on the breastplate. It turned out alright from maybe a foot away or something. It's not too bad. Obviously it doesn't look as good as a model that was specifically made for it. You can see again the shield type. It's not something you see on any other models, so that's why I've had to do it myself. It looks a little bit strange still, but I think if you're not focusing too much on the models and you're just playing with them, they actually look pretty distinctive, which was the whole point of doing it this way. Again, obviously I need to paint over the green stuff part on the helmet, but that's just a little bit of primer and then metallic paint, and then it should be ready to go. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. It definitely looks different from all the Norman, the plastic Norman knights running around on the battlefield. So yep, I'll load up a video shortly with my painted warlord. I'm not going too detailed on this particular warband. I just want to get it on the table and play with it. All right, thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.